Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Just doing a wee quick update now that we know the times and dates and TV coverage for our last 5 games of the season. So we'll run through those 5 games with us now being 15 points ahead with 5 games to go and a goal difference advantage of plus 42, better than Rangers. It would be very, very unexpected, even if Celtic were to lose their last 5 games, for Rangers to be able to overhaul a 42 goal deficit. Would likely be Celtic would have to lose all their games 4 or 5-0, and Rangers would have to win all their games 4 or 5-0 to overhaul 42 goals difference. So very unlikely. However, Celtic will be going into the next fixture, which is in a couple of Saturdays' time, on the 26th of April. It's going to be an away game at Tannadice in Dundee against Dundee United. It's a 12:30 kickoff, and the game will be live on Sky Sports. And Celtic, as I said, need 1 point to definitely claim the title again, and brings back memories of the 1-1 draw 3 years ago when Ange Postecoglou claimed the title for Celtic for the first of the 2 times we did under his management. And I am fully expecting in a couple of Saturdays' time, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, title number 55 and 4 in a row will all be safely in the Celtic trophy cabinet. Celtic's other 4 games in the post-split fixtures are against Rangers on Sunday, the 4th of May. That game's a 12 o'clock kickoff. That game also will be live on Sky Sports. Next match after that is the following Saturday the 10th of May, 3 o'clock kickoff at Celtic Park against Hibs. Celtic then go to Aberdeen on Wednesday the 14th of May for an evening time game. That's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Again, as yet not confirmed to national television. And Celtic will then have their trophy presentation in the last game of the season, which for the second year in a row is against St Mirren. That game is at Celtic Park on Saturday the 17th of May. That's going to be a 12:30 kickoff, and that game also will be live on Sky Sports. So good news for Celtic. First fixture against Dundee United. That should get the claiming and clinching of the title out of the way nice and early, and then Celtic can rest and rotate for the rest of those 4 games, hopefully in preparation for the cup final after that, assuming that we beat St Johnstone in the cup semi-final this Sunday coming. A few other wee bits of news stories linked to Celtic at the moment. Interestingly, it's coming out that Kieran Tierney turned down a number of very high-profile clubs to come to Celtic. He apparently turned down contracts with Everton in the English Premier League, a contract with Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, a contract also with Juventus in Italy and Sevilla in Spain. And so it does appear that Kieran Tierney is very, very keen to come back to Celtic to continue and probably complete his career. And assuming that Kieran Tierney can stay mostly injury-free, I think we are going to get our very high-quality player very, very committed to Celtic, a lifelong Celtic fan, player unlike many who has come back on a very regular basis to watch Celtic games. A definite upgrade in all aspects from Greg Taylor. Talking of Greg Taylor, there doesn't appear to have been any progress in terms of his new contract with Celtic. Brendan Rodgers says that he is very, very keen to keep Taylor at Celtic, and the inside gossip is the board have offered him a number of new contracts. He's currently thought to be on around about £700,000 a year. It's thought that the basic contract Celtic had offered him as his new contract was going to be £1 million per year plus as a basic, with bonuses and incentives, etc. on top of that. But it would appear that the stumbling block is that Taylor sees himself as the Celtic number one left back rather than the backup to Kieran Tierney, and also wants himself to be in the top 4 or 5 earners alongside players such as McGregor, Carter-Vickers, Tierney and Jota. And understandably, Celtic haven't offered him a guaranteed number one slot as left back, nor being promoted into the top tier of highest paid players at Celtic. The move to Dinamo Zagreb may well have fallen flat, as Zagreb currently lie third in the Croatian league, and they have sacked their manager Fabio Cannavaro, and so it may be that deal has fallen apart, and we're still waiting for confirmation as to where Taylor will be playing next year. And I would say there still is a possibility that Taylor may change his mind and sign again for Celtic and move into that number 2 slot behind Tierney. A couple of other players that Celtic are said to be looking at signing for next season. One is Danny Ings, a player that was rumoured to be coming to Celtic on loan for the remainder of this current season. However, that appeared to fall flat on the last day of the transfer window, and many other sources said that it was never really a goer. Danny Ings currently playing for West Ham in the English Premier League, although he has had very limited number of games so far this season. He is 32 years old, will be 33 in July, 3 England caps with 1 international goal for England. His contract actually ends in June 2025, so he would be coming on as a free agent. However, his salary at West Ham is said to be £125,000 a week. Probably is 3 to 4 times more than the top paid player at Celtic, and so I don't see Ings coming to Celtic. Looking at Ings' stats this year for West Ham, 17 games, 1 goal and 2 assists, 2 starts and 15 times as a sub. And in his last 2 seasons, he has scored 1 goal this season and 1 goal last season, so not a tremendously good output. And looking at his whole career, including Aston Villa, Southampton, Burnley, Liverpool, Bournemouth, 125 goals and 42 assists. And to be thoroughly honest, I don't see Danny Ings coming to Celtic. Can't see him wanting to drop his salary of £125,000 a week to come to Celtic. I'm also not totally convinced that his style of play would be suiting Celtic. He has had a couple of very successful spells with Southampton and Burnley, and his career otherwise has been rather disappointing with a very low goals per game ratio apart from those 2 clubs. Much more would likely see Ings going to an English Championship club to try and get himself back into the Premiership, or moving on to another lower half relegation battling English Premier League side. The other player that Celtic are said to be closely following and linked to and considering a bid for is an interesting young Dutch player called Ings and Manhoef, currently playing for Stoke City in the English Championship. Is said to be a player that Brendan Rodgers very much admires. He has 17 caps for Holland under 21s with 6 goals and 6 assists. His contract at Stoke runs until June 2027. His weekly salary is said to be £12,500 a week, so well within Celtic's wage budget. and his transfer market value is said to be £3 to £3.5 million. So the kind of fee that Celtic would be very happy to pay for a talented player. As I was saying earlier, 23 years old, he's 5'8". He is primarily a right winger, although frequently does play right midfield, left midfield, centre midfield, also plays left wing, also plays left back, and has on a couple of occasions played as a striker and as an attacking midfielder. However, primarily is a wide out on the right, but interesting that he does cover so many different positions. Before moving to Stoke, he played for Vitesse Arnhem in Holland this season for Stoke. 35 games, 6 goals, 4 assists, and his season-long average rating 6.82 out of 10. And his time at Stoke, 49 games, 10 goals, 5 assists. And his time at Vitesse Arnhem, 88 games, 16 goals, 14 assists. Having looked at quite a few different scouting reels for Million Manhoef, I am going to do in the next day or two a scouting video of him, a bit more depth regarding his stats, and also some edited extracts of his highlights and skills in the last season or so playing for Stoke in the English Championship. As of today, Tuesday lunchtime, no other major Celtic news. Didn't appear that any of the Celtic players had any injuries in the game against Kilmarnock at the weekend. So it would look like we're going to be going into the game against St Johnstone next Sunday with a full squad apart from Yang being out and Kasper Schmeichel being out. So that just about finishes things off for today's video. Just as we finish, we polite suggestion, encouragement, if you are new to the channel, not yet subscribed, please do click that subscribe button, keep the numbers pushing up and up and up, and do feel free to pop your own comments into the comment section regarding what your thoughts are regarding the post-split fixtures, what your thoughts also are regarding any other Celtic issues at the moment. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.